This is a BBL Report team profile for the Atlanta Paramours of the Atlantic South Division.
The Paramours are owned by Monique Blaze, a former stripper who married a 98-year-old billionaire. She convinced him to purchase the team for her and is now waiting for him to die so she can inherit his money. She requires every player on the team to sleep with her. Many people close to the organization don't believe the billionaire husband knows what Monique is doing with the players in her bedroom. Others have questioned whether Blaze's requirement has hindered the team, as she may be looking for players who are better in bed than on the court.
Hank Moody.
Coach Hank Moody is a former author who can't seem to be in the same room with a gorgeous woman without somehow sleeping with her, especially if they are already married. The Paramours play in the arena called the Rendezvous. Most of the Paramour fans do not have season tickets and are actually fans of other teams but cannot seem to stop going to Paramour games, and they buy single game tickets but still go to every game.
Paramours Broadbent.
Paramours Broadbent. Broadbent was born in Bend, Oregon. He was the most dominant player in the BBL from 2021 to 2022, winning BBL MVP in the finals in 21 and League MVP in 2022. Owner Monique Blaze says she loves his unique sexual organ and she will never let Paramours play for another owner.
Jack Camp.
Jack Camp has a child in every city in which there is a BBL team. All 15 of these children are under the age of 3.
Bubba Johnson.
It is possible Bubba Johnson is one of those players that may have been chosen by Monique Blaze for the size of his Johnson more than the accuracy of his jump shot.
Marshall Cobra.
Marshall Cobra has a tongue that is split into two, and he can move both parts of his tongue individually and quite expertly. He also has nostrils on the side of his nose. So, he can breathe even when his mouth and nose are covered. BBL Report commentator Summer Bronskin has interviewed Marshall more than any other player in the BBL.
Eduardo Bandolero.
Eduardo Bandolero was once a Spanish matador. Monique likes going out on the town with Eduardo because he takes her to crazy places like illegal street fights or scary dive bars, but she doesn't feel scared. Once she was cold and he gave her his leather coat. She noticed there was human blood on the inside, and it had a small hole in the stomach area that could have been made by a knife. She asked him about it, and he just stared into the night and did not say anything. Then he grabbed her by her arm and lifted her in the air, but it did not hurt her, and he said, "Be careful the questions you ask me." Then he kissed her hard. Occasionally he will tie her up while he takes her, carnally. She likes that he doesn't stink when he starts to sweat while defiling her. He also wears the same cologne that her daddy did.
Pierre Lemieux.
Frenchman Pierre Lemieux is a former Formula One race car driver and is independently wealthy. He is very romantic, and he takes his time when he beds Monique. She says she likes that he sees her. Teammate Jack Camp says, "I don't know what she means by that. I see her all the time. If she is in the room with you, you see her." Pierre has fresh flowers delivered every day to her house.
Benoit Pelican.
In 2024, the Paramours drafted Benoit Pelican, a tall forward who can guard both forwards and centers. Benoit has a rare disease. His bones are hollow, which makes him very fast and can jump very high, but he is fragile and can get hurt easily. Because of his condition, he is very proficient in the martial arts, particularly the crane kick made famous in the 1980s smash hit movie Karate Kid. Pelican was born in North Naples, Florida. When Benoit was drafted, in 2024, he was not aware of owner Monique Blaze's policy that every player on the team must sleep with her. He refused her for several months, and the Paramours suffered the worst season in team history. He finally succumbed to peer pressure and joined his boss in the boudoir. Benoit discovered his boner might be stronger than his actual bones.
Lance McDance.
The Paramours had the #1 pick in 2025 but passed on the best player available Cecil Kingdom, because he is very religious and doesn't believe in sexual relations outside the bonds of marriage. So Monique passed on him in favor of Lance McDarns, who was born in Finger Lakes, New York. He has an amazing offensive abilities. He can score even if he is double-teamed. Lance has leaping ability and excellent handles, and that makes Lance one of the most unstoppable players in the league. He also happens to have the largest hands in the BBL. Interesting.
The BBL. It's mildly amusing.